Yes, the conversation at this moment is on balancing gender roles and career development. I love it when women are very, very ambitious and determined to reach the zenith of their career. But the question then is, how do they juggle their professional growth and the home front together, especially in this part of the world where there are so many factors impeding women from pursuing their career development and, of course, growth. Joining us this morning to look at this topic, balancing gender roles and career development, is Wemimo Adewuni, founder, Clove Red Media and media consultant. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Very good to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, what is it about gender roles and career development, especially in this part of the world where we believe that the women normally should face the business of home and, of course, not chase their goals or their career development?
It's sad, it's pathetic that we still have that mindset, and we still do have that mindset. I like what you said about, especially this part of the world. It's changing fast in some parts. It's not just an African problem that we see women as, childbearing tools. We even label them as nurturers. You say women are nurturers. It's supposed to be a nice thing to say, like, oh, you're the one who carries the pregnancy, you're idols. They even try to idolize you, in a bid to put you on this grand pedestal of, oh, you, so, which is absolutely great. Childbearing is not easy, but women are much more than that. So when we talk about gender roles, people wear their defensive hats, and you begin to hear the gender wars, which I don't run away from. I don't fear a spar, but we need to have the conversations about why we believe the things we believe, why we think that women are just lesser humans than men are, and all they're entirely useful for is to have children. We have this reflected even in the workplaces. Very sadly, we still have workplace imbalances in employment, in promotions,
hiring.
In hiring. If you look at high-paying fields, the World Bank did a research recently. You find a lot of ladies in universities these days. That's really good, But when you get to high-paying fields, you don't find women there. When you get to the top of the ladder, you don't find women there. Why? Because they spend a lot of their years having babies without support. They had to take 9 months going through a tough pregnancy. You deliver, you've got postpartum depression that nobody wants you to talk about because your mother's had babies, you're not the first, so what's your problem? So you're trying to bottle all of that up, and you want to also show up at work as an effective employee who doesn't want to get sacked, right? You're offered a 6-week maternity leave because the government and the whole world believes that by 6 weeks, what the heck is wrong with you? You should be good. You should be able to come back to work. So it's a whole lumped up, unpleasant dynamic.
Okay, so what then are the psychological and the emotional effect of all these on women, even when they are brilliant enough to head an agency or pursue their career goals?
So we all live in the same society. Both men and women, both the patriarchal men and the patriarchal women, because there are women who have imbibed patriarchy, who also have continued to pass on the message that women should just sit at home. Someone once told me some years ago, that, you do too much. Just go get a school teaching job. That should be okay. You'd have the long holiday period to sit with your kids. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but I don't want to teach in a school. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, but I don't want to teach in a primary school, because I can do much more than that. So women psychologically imbibe this idea that there's a glass ceiling, and if you go above that, then you are doing too much. You are looking for trouble, and you will possibly find trouble. Women who are then high-rising are labeled as witches, feminists, the black goats in the society. So if you're speaking up, you're a bad apple. Even amongst family members, I speak about even mine, although like Yoruba would say, once to back but so there's a label. Unfortunately, it also rubs off on younger girls who look at the whole dynamic of the society and see that, oh, women who rise high get a bad label. So they have to choose, do I want a bad label or do I want to play safe? Many of them, unfortunately, play safe. They become dependent. There's nothing wrong with, being a dependent if that's what you want, but having that limiting mindset is the result of this continuous idea that we hold as a society.
So let's talk about the cultural, social, and economic dimensions to these challenges impeding women from pursuing their career growth. I know there are cultural factors to it, economic, and of course the social dimension. So, dimensions. Can we treat the three?
Well, culturally, you know, some of these ideas, until you put a microscope and look at it, you know, there's a grandiose put around some of them. They're packaged to look fine. Like I said, oh, women are mothers. You see that International Women's Day. Oh, women, oh, they're so celebrated. Oh, women are so this and that. But when we remove all of that veil and check what's behind the thoughts, is the driving force is that women are to be men. Let's look at where all of this comes from historically. In the days where we got food by fighting and hunting animals, men would go out to do the hunting because they had the physical muscles, and the women had to protect the babies. It also happens in the animal kingdom. You know, one of the partner will stay to take care. So we take that on to say that, okay, so the women does the rest of the processing of the food. So when people say women have always been home, women have been processing. You only bring the meat. They do the cooking, the storing, the caring for the baby. They do the farming. They do the harvesting, the processing of the food. They go to the market and sell it. Then they bring the money back home to feed the babies and wash the clothes and cook the food and do all of that.
Which is far more than just bringing the meat.
Bringing the meat. It's a whole lot more. So culturally, it's the work that women do is so diminished. You know, it's so minimized to make to look like, oh, it's nothing, until you tell a man to sit at home, you know, and they're like, nah, I can't do that. I need to all go hang out with the boys. No, you sit at home for 2 weeks, you know, and do it and see what it looks like. Economically and politically, it's glaring. You know, there's nothing you want to say. It's glaring. Actions speak louder than voice. In leadership, how many women do we have as leaders politically in the House of Reps and the Senate? 2%, 4.7%. What do we have?
As of rep, we just have 15 out of 360.
Out of 360. So beyond that, when I see them do the press conferences and do the glamorous words, oh, we believe in women equality. Show me. Don't tell me. Show me. Women don't have the seat. Now we're asking
and figures don't lie.
Figures never lie. The facts are there. Okay, give extra seats to women. Oh, no, that's too much. You're always asking for too much. What's wrong with you people? That's what they say all the time. So economically, it reflects. Interestingly, a lot of women hold the economy at the bottom of the ladder. They're the small-scale traders. They're the small-scale farmers. They're the ones who process on the small scale. But they hold the economy, the markets. You find them there. The farming of the tomatoes, you find them there. The meat sellers, the fish sellers, you find them there. Even at the offices, as marketing at the lower level that go to get the money for the companies, you find them there.
Of them are women.
They are there. If you pull them out, you're pulling down these parts of the economy. So we're saying that women have shown, we don't need to prove ourselves, but we have to. But you see that women have pulled their weight. I love that in the banking sector, more women are leading.
Yeah, becoming CEOs now.
And
Zenith. Oh, let me
even
not do advertising.
I don't want to mention it. Even in the in the what's it called now? The hotels and stuff. What are they called?
Hospitality.
Hospitality. You find them also leading, you know, as CEOs. Why? Because facts don't lie. We're not doing a man. I believe in merit. I believe that whoever deserves it should have it. But when you have a tilt in the scale, you need to have a balance for both genders. Women are almost 50% of the population. We're not a minority. We're not begging for crumbs. We're saying that we all should have a seat at the table to contribute to the country.
Okay, so for a professional like you, how easy is it for you juggling the home fronts as well as your professional growth together?
Well,
because that's where the problem always is. Oh, if you want to be successful as a woman, then the home front might suffer, or nannies might be the ones to take care of your children.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with nannies taking care of the children? That's the question I ask. What's wrong with that? That's a cultural thing. What is wrong with that? I've got a housekeeper. I've always had a housekeeper. I worked in radio for years. Morning shifts meant that I left my house at 4 a.m.
Wow.
For years, and got back at night. Right now, I'm out of the house. Before I get back home, it's almost possibly 9 p.m. They are well fed.
And your husband was very understanding. Maybe he's one of those few men.
Well, yes. But really, I would like us to get to a place where we don't have to say, but it's because your husband is. He's their father, he's a parent. I'm a parent.
He's a stakeholder as well.
We are both parents. I'm not the only parent. The only thing I do that a man cannot do is to keep the baby in my womb. That's all. Even breastfeeding, I don't have to do it. Some women can't breastfeed. Some babies don't take breast milk. They're bottle fed. Anybody can put a bottle to a baby's mouth. Anybody can change diapers. Anybody can feed them. The important things they need is the nurturing, which is
not
the
every
mental.
man can cook.
Why can't they cook? I've got 3 boys. Why can't they cook? That's the problem. Why can't you cook? Food and eating is a life skill. You can't go without food for a whole day. You should be ashamed if you can't cook.
I cannot cook.
Well, you should cover your face. Because eating food is a life. Is a life. You should be able to whisk something together for yourself. If nobody's around, you would have nothing to eat. No, you can't be that way. So let me take you up on on that. So I'm saying that we must get to a place where some of these things are not as deep as we put them. And when people ask me, how do you do so much? I declutter my mind to tell myself that life is in phases. I was a young 20-year-old some time ago. Now I'm in a phase where I have to nurture kids. And my idea of nurturing is to give them the life skills that they need to be the best versions of themselves. The other things are lower energy skills that other people can delegate. The ones I cannot delegate is being a mother. And being a mother is understanding each child, their giftings, their purpose, their skills, and helping them to nurture those. If my time is spent washing clothes with my hands and mopping the house, I would not be able to care for them in the way they need to. So I delegate what can be delegated, and then I take on the things that I need to do as a parent. Parenting is not just washing clothes and and cooking. Anybody can cook a meal. You buy food, don't you? We're not bothered about who cooks it, as long as it's healthy, it's well made, and they're well fed. So that's how I cook. And I also believe that every human being's got a purpose. I believe in God. And all of us individually would account before God and say, oh, what did I do with my life while I was here? Oh, I was busy washing plates. Really? Really? That's what you're going to tell God when you get to heaven, that you were busy washing plates?
As a woman.
I wish you all the best.
Okay, I know it's not a crime for any woman to be successful in life, but there's always this suspicion around women who are breaking new grounds or who are making it in life. People give them tags. Oh, she must have compromised on certain ethics, or she didn't really rise through the rank to get to that zenith of her career. So how do we begin to change all this narrative about this suspicion about women who are breaking new grounds?
Media. And I had this, I'm glad you asked, I had these thoughts while I was preparing this morning, because I saw an Instagram post of some high-rising women who are going to have a nice time in Doha. And they were glamorously dressed. And my mind, actually, the thing about the mind and movies, at the back of my mind, I'm like, they're in a coven. Because films show us that successful women are women who are in a cult, who sacrifice their babies to have wealth. That's what we're shown. So even I caught
a man behind them,
or had a man behind who sponsored them. I caught that thought. I'm a feminist, and I caught that thought at the back, and I scrutinized that thought and asked, where did that come from? It's from films. It's from films that show us that women should be in the kitchen, and any woman who's outside is different and is bad. It's from films that show us that women who make it have sacrificed or have slept their ways up there. That women never really deserve it. They don't really have anything upstairs. So how could they? No, you tell me, how could she be the CEO? She must have, how could she be the local government chairman? How could she be a senator? Okay, now the woman has to justify why she's a senator, why she's a high-rising woman. We don't ask men to justify themselves as so. So we need to change the narratives. The media is a very strong and powerful tool. I'm a media person, so I know that the media wields a lot of the words that we speak, the movies that we show, replicates and just keeps do the copy and paste of this thing that we're trying to weed out. Yorubas will say, you don't want to finish a meal and you keep dusting the crumbs in the plate. It's not going to finish up. We need to pack it up and be done with it.
Okay, I know that women are more in terms of population, but are they really supporting each other to change all of this perception about them and their growth?
Yes, they are. That's another stereotype that I hear. Women pull women down. I don't know what they're talking about. It might be true. So, bad behavior is a human thing. Bad behavior is both men and women. Men kill themselves every time, especially during politics. We don't hear the label, men don't support men. But we hear women don't support women. But that's not true. Happen in communities. Of course, I've had bad experiences with women, as with men. But I have been in, and I'm still in very strong communities where women, rally around, provide support. They're sending you what you need, links to help you progress. They're giving you referrals. We're having discussions about policies, about discussions. So yes, women have, in their markets, you see the market women groups. You see them rallying support around one another. You see different women are supporting one another. And we need to really just remove that thought. It's not true. It's not true.
Okay, so if indeed we want to push our women to be the very best in their chosen career, are the laws that we have in our state House of Assemblies and even the national, are they supportive of women breaking new grounds?
They're not. They're not. They're not. You remember what happened? I mean, I don't even have to ask if you remember. It's still on the table, the Natasha issue. At the core of it, which is what I'm waiting for all of us to get back to, is that the National Assembly does not have a sexual harassment policy. That was the crux of the whole problem. There was nowhere for her to report to. So the procedure, why did she lay it before the House, or she should have done this? So the question is, you did not anticipate that there will be a need to report sexual harassment. Of course, sexual harassment isn't just for women. It could have also happened to men.
Yeah.
But we see that happen especially to women within workplaces, where some bosses believe that they are entitled to touch you inappropriately, to speak inappropriate words to you, and you should suck up to it, and you should be grateful that they're even paying you a compliment. You should be thankful that a man is even looking your way and sees that your makeup is fine, or you're shapely, or your tummy,
But telling you that your makeup is fine, it's a compliment.
Yeah, that's fine. But to tell me that, your shape is, no, please, no, please. We, in ourselves, as adults, we innately know when something is beyond boundaries. It's just that we decide to be badly behaved. That's why I say bad behavior is both
male and
female. Even some women, many women are badly behaved, right? So it's both ways. So the laws are not aligned for a forward-thinking society. The lawmakers themselves, I must say, are not aligned for a forward-thinking society. They're not women. They're not pro-women. The last assembly, for instance, that's all you need to see. The speed with which they shut down the 5 gender bills is the quickest in history. It was no. They just don't want to hear it. They don't want a lot of women in the National Assembly. They believe it's their birthright. It's a man's club. So what are they looking for? We'll do the laws for them. That should be fine. So we don't have laws. You can't have the appropriate laws when the people who are making laws for women are men. They can make some laws, but there are some specific laws that you can only understand. For instance, I talked about the maternity leave. Only 10 states in Nigeria currently allow women to go for leave for 6 months.
6 months.
The Labour Act says 6 weeks. 6 weeks, my first child, I still couldn't understand what was happening to me. People were calling me and I couldn't I was lost. I didn't know what my body was doing to me. And in 6 weeks, you want me to be back at work, and you want me to be effective, you want me to drop my baby at a creche and drive on my way from mainland to island and just be fine.
Isn't that the more reason why we should look into some of our laws to be gender friendly?
Absolutely. But we can't look at those laws if we don't get the women there. If you're talking maternity leave, for instance, most of the men are like, yeah. When the conversation came about men getting paternity leave, a lot of men were like, for what? Even women was like, for what? You should go to work, Jare. But in reality, the man just become a parent. He's also welcoming a new child. He should be there to support and also enjoy being a father. We don't realize that men also want to bond with it's his child as well. So all of those ideas, we believe they're Western. Men should just work. If you're then, what are you doing at home? Go out. Just go. We need to realign our laws, but the laws cannot change if the people who would change them, the people who would make we're having constitutional amendments. They've been going across the women issue. We're going to wait to see how many of the recommendations would really be taken. I'm not expecting too much.
But there's a bill before the National Assembly now trying to give more seats to women in the 2 chambers of the National Assembly.
Yes.
Are you hopeful it's going to see the light of the day?
Yes.
Because no matter the few women that we have in the National Assembly, be it red or the green chamber, at least they have a voice. Their voice might not be strong enough.
How many of them are in the Senate? 4.
Out of 109.
9. No, you tell, what voice do they have now? 4. to 109. What voice is that? That's not even a faint echo. That's nothing. That's
so
zilch.
even politically, we are already partial towards
We
women.
are partial. Local government elections, how many women became chairman? How many women became chairman? Shomolu's got Bariga got a female. I know that Mosokola got a female.
A female, yeah. Agboike too.
So how many?
Kosisheri.
Lagos has 57 in total.
57.
How many of them are women? And if a woman even wants to contest, what do they tell her? Why are you contest? Has your husband giving you approval to contest? Is your husband's family, are they happy with you to contest? Then media will also start scrutinizing. Oh, remember, Bianca Ojukwu, oh, her husband's family. Really? Do we talk about when the man is contesting, do we ask about his wife's family, his in-laws, what they think about him? We don't. So the whole thing is lopsided. We need to untangle it with conversations like this, one at a time, and ask ourselves to just think critically why we do what we do.
So as men, what kind of support can we give to women for them to flourish professionally?
Be a parent, for starters. Own the fact that you are a parent as much as she is. You are responsible for the babies as much as she is. So you're not babysitting. Oh, I'm watching the kids for my wife. You're not watching the kids for me. You're watching your kids, sir. You're not watching them for me. You're watching your children. I'm watching my children. So if we don't have a help, you watch your kids, sir. So we'll draw a roster so that we can both have time. You can have time to be the best version of yourself. Pursue your dreams. I'll stay home for you. When I have to go out, you stay home, and you're not doing me a favor. That's the place we need to get to. Men need to have that mind shift to say that the woman is not asking for too much. They're just saying, you are now a parent. Be a parent. We can start from that. Then you're a husband. Be a husband. The husband does not mean that you must tower over your wife. As you want to pursue your dreams, she's also got innate dreams. You're not doing her a favor by giving her permission to be that. You didn't create her. You can't give her permission to be. The same way you can't give your child permission. That's why you see rebellious in quote. You say you want them to be something. You didn't make them. You didn't create them.
And you don't know their strength.
You don't know their strength. So if you're a husband, so for men, I'm going to say that be a father. Be a father. It's just two hands you need to care for babies, to bathe them, to cook, to clean the house, to hold the mop stick is one hand. To put clothes in the washing machine, it's just hands. That's all. It's not gender related, just hands. So use your hands at home.
Okay. All right. So that's the family aspect of it. Let's talk about the political aspect now, and the laws surrounding employment in Nigeria. Because when it is time for promotion or hiring, it seems not to favor women at all. And politically, you have more numbers. So how do women begin to make more demands of the political class so that they can at least tilt some of these laws in their favor?
You see, for that, we still have a long way to go. I'm going to be very frank, because we don't have so many women who understand these things that I'm speaking about and who can demand as we need. What we need is a demand. But we do have a growing network of women rights organizations and women who understand that this is not where we should be in terms of laws, employment, gender pay gaps. You know, I hear people say, why does a woman want as much money as a man for the same job? What do you mean? You know, the man needs to fend for the family. The woman is just herself, so she should get less than the man for the same job. Does it make any sense? You agree?
I do.
Does it make sense? So we need to do the non-political work, which is to, like we're having this conversation, tell more women that that glass ceiling that you see is false. It's not real. You can break through it. Once you have these women who understand, and I see it happening, even in smaller clusters in the market areas, you see their strength within the market. You see their unions, the strength of the women. When it's time for elections, that's when you realize that women are strong. They push them in front to go do the that's when you will hear women leader. Before elections, it's a very silent position. Towards election, the woman leader is very formidable. She's on the stage with all the flag bearers because they know that women are a strong political.
So the women leader, now what are they doing with the opportunities that they have to bring more women on board?
My answer, I had to take a pause to understand how I should answer. So for many of them, and this is our reality, they got there through favor. That's the men trying to fulfill all righteousness. So, oh, we put a woman in a block. We've got the woman block filled. So they don't understand this thing. You know, I said earlier that some women are patriarchal because their mindset have been conditioned by the society to be so. So they don't understand these things I'm saying. So they can't push for it. And the women they will put there will not be women like myself who will give them trouble. They'll put women who are mellow, who would
soft.
mend, yes, and bend. And so everybody is just fine with the status quo.
So how do we change the history now? You know, we have young ladies, young girls looking up to people like you. How do we change the history of what we have presently so that what happened during our own time would not repeat itself for those little ladies coming up?
Well, I'm hoping that with social media, that's why someone like myself is very social media inclined to speak and on political shows, conversations as such, you know, women who understand the cause need to speak more. If you're silent or you're doing your work just behind the scene, then these girls would not see what we're doing. So we need to be out there more. The media needs to bring them more and not be uncomfortable to have these conversations so that girls can see what is possible. Girls can understand that what that thought you had in your mind is not too much to ask. It's just being human. It's just being you. So we need to also demand and make stronger demands to the National Assembly, the state assemblies, to make laws that protect women in terms of employment, in terms of pay, in terms of maternity leave, you know, access. You know, one of the bills that was before the House was that political parties should include a certain quota of women, even when choosing flag bearers. We need those laws. If we don't solve that from the political party level, then you cannot have a woman win the election if they were not even part of the candidates. So we need to move, those laws are very important. The National Assembly, in amending the Constitution, need to prioritize these recommendations. We've made recommendations. They need to prioritize them and not just see them as, oh, those pests here again.
Okay, and for the boy child, how do we reorientate them as well to see their girl counterpart as equal?
Yeah, see, I mean, most children are born tabula rasa. They don't have anything in their minds. It's what society feeds them. If they were born in Switzerland, they will not have these conversations. No. They become what they see. So if the parents become better, they will become better. I'm glad, though, that as they grow older, they have access to the internet. Unfortunately, I see a lot of young people who have also imbibed patriarchy in their minds. Speaking on, I'm like, hey, this is trouble. So I would ask young people to be open-minded, to ask questions. My favorite question to ask is why? Why do we do this? So ask questions, inquire, read history with an open mind, take different opinions, and then resolve them to make your own decision about who you're going to be.
Okay, can our religious bodies also play some role in all of this? Huge roles. We've got this is a strong religious society. So our religious leaders, some of them are changing their mindset, but they're still afraid to say it on the pulpit and in the mosque because it's against the structure that they've had over the years. They need to be bolder because now they are determinants of the future. Be bolder to speak. I see a lot of religious leaders now speaking, even Muslim clerics and Christians now speaking against sexual and gender-based violence. It wasn't so before. We need these voices to be bold and courageous. People listen to them. They mop up their words. So please speak truth, speak power, and you believe in God, so speak the fear of God too. Okay, frank conversation this morning, balancing gender roles and career development with Wemimo Adewuni, founder, Clove Red Media and media consultant. Of course, she'll be very frank on the program this morning, calling on everybody, political leaders, our religious leaders, the society in general to have a change of perspective about the growth of our women when it comes to their professional career. The same opportunity that I have as a man should also be created for the woman, or for women to flourish as well and attain certain goals in life, or all their goals. We thank you very much, Womimo, for your time on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll take a very short break. When we come back, it will be the time for the ladies, Adebimpe and Joy, to have their own conversation. Please stay with us.